Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of my podcast. My name is Lisa. I'm from LiseLight, and I have started doing my podcast with all kinds of knitting stuff. I have plans on doing videos with other topics related to knitting, so stay tuned for that. So if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. It'll really help my channel, so I really appreciate that. Today I'm going to go over traditionally a couple of finished objects that I have, some work in progress, and also some plans. And I've also included a little bit of footage from a visit to well, in Denmark, you would call it a warehouse sale, but that's not completely accurate. I would call it like a stock room sale, open house type arrangement at Wadils. I was able to film just a little bit from a visit I had over Christmas to their store, so I'll get back to that when we get into acquisitions. So I figured it'd be fun for you to perhaps see that. So let's just dive into it. First, small object that I'm not completely happy with, but sort of content is I think I showed in the first episode. I have bought well, I don't know if you can call it a mistake, yarn for a sweater that I figured was a more warm red. It turns out to be a quite cold red. It's difficult to see in the on camera, I think, but it's got these dark speckles in it. It's a mohair, really thick type thing, and I did this headband. I need to redo it though, because it's thick and warm. It's beautiful, but my sewing, and I'm actually a sewer, so this is embarrassing, but this completely, this I messed up because I didn't catch all the layers. And tried to fix it, and it just became this really bulky thing. I need to take that apart and redo the stitching, but the idea, I've inserted footage of, I'll just move over so you can see the footage better. I've inserted a little clip of me wearing it as it is now, but I think I can definitely improve it a little bit. But pretty happy with it. It's really warm. It's made for when I go on my bike. It's a free pattern I found on Ravelry. I'll link it down below. But it really is a simple thing. You just do stitching in the round, or knitting in the round, just stockinette, for I think 50 centimeters or so, and then you fold it up and sew it, and that's it. I mean, it's really, really simple, easy. So I just chose, I can't even remember, I think a 4 millimeter needles, I feel like, for this type of yarn, and it's really thick. And so even though this color may not be the perfect match for me, I think for a headband like this, I think it actually works. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that's item number one. Then item number two is the pride and joy. I showed it in my video where I talk about everything I knit in 2024. I'll put the link up in the corner if you want to see that video. And this is the Seaview sweater that is finished. I'll put up a clip of me wearing it. And I'm just so happy with this sweater. It's very, very soft. It's done in merino and soft silk mohair that I bought at Wadils also. It's soft. It's the sleeves have the perfect length. Everything about it is just nice. It's very warm. It is kind of dense, and that's of course the nature of cabling turns a garment into a pretty substantial piece of clothing. So that's not a surprise. But I'm really proud of it. I think it looks amazing. It's just all over. I'm so happy with it. I was just saying I was a little hesitant about the color, because this purling, you do the ribbing, and then you do a round of purling, and then you do the rest of the ribbing and you sew it down. I think you sew it down or you close it up. I can't remember. I tend to sew it down because I feel like it's neater and it's easier. But I can't remember what I did in this instance. No, I might actually have knitted it down. If you're not completely exact with it, the purling will not end up in the edge, which bothers me just a tiny bit because I can see I'm a little bit off in the back. But in the front, it actually looks immaculate. So, and that's the most important thing because usually my hair will cover the back of it. So this, I think I'm gonna get a ton of wear out of and have it for many years because it's just sort of like a classic piece, basically. And the next finished object was a spur of the moment idea that I got. I have some yarn I'm going to show you later on, some alpaca that I thought I would do the Kumulus blouse with. And I felt like the fabric was way too see-through. I had to go up a needle size to meet gauge, and then it became so transparent that I felt like I'm not going to use it because actually my intention was I wanted to use this without anything under it. I just want to have it as a light layer. And what I found out from when I was done knitting the Seaview sweater and also another piece I'm going to show you, I had leftover kid silk mohair from Wadils, and I had enough. If I just bought two, I think I bought four more skeins, and I needed only three of them. I actually had enough to do a whole sweater. And what I ended up doing was using two strands of the cream color and one strand of a brown color and put them together. So the mohair I used for this one and the mohair I've used, so the cream color from this sweater, I'm gonna touch on that in a bit. And I figure I actually had to put three strands together to meet gauge because again the same problem. If I use two strands, I would have to go up a needle size with this mohair at least. And I felt like again it became so transparent in this light color that I would probably not use it so much because I don't want to use it on top of a bunch of bulky items underneath. I want to use it just as is. And I love it. It's so soft. It's like a cloud. It doesn't weigh anything. It looks big and substantial, and it's definitely warm. I would have preferred the two-layer density of it, perhaps. But again, this is gonna be just a beautiful piece in my wardrobe. I'm really, really happy about it, and it makes me feel good that I used up a whole bunch of stuff from my stash, and only had to buy a couple more skeins to actually make this happen. I think I did a really good job with the I-cording. I've seen some people struggling a little bit with the neckline. What I did, because you're supposed to do the I-cord edge without reducing your stitches, which is fine. But what I did when I came to the middle, I actually decreased with one stitch down here. So instead of knitting two together, I knit three together in the center of the sweater in the V, which just made it, I don't know if it made a big difference because I don't know what it would look like if I didn't do it, but it definitely looks neat and nice and finished. So I'm so happy with this. I might consider at some point going to knitting for Olive and getting some of the yarn that's used in the original pattern, and then trying the two-strand version in a like pink color. You wouldn't know from seeing the stuff I've knitted because it's very muted neutral shades, but I actually like a bit of color in my wardrobe in pieces here and there. So I figured maybe that would make it okay to use two strands and see how that would work out. So so I might do that. I loved knitting this up. It was fairly quick. Yeah, just all over a really good experience. So definitely, I'm going to do that. So that's item number 2 or 3 finished. And aside from that, I have possible sweater surgery coming up. I'll just touch on that. This is my lace sweater. It's a pattern by Knitting for Olive. Um, I'll put up a photo of me wearing it. The issue with this, I love it. It's so pretty. I love the fact that it's got the holes in it, so it's warm, but it's also airy at the same time. It's actually a perfect layering piece. I feel like a perfect sweater. Um, the problem is the color. It looks great. I love the look of it going up high, but because of the color, I end up having makeup on the edge of the collar every single time I've worn it. Even from doing the little video I put up, I think I actually managed to avoid it. But my goodness, it's every single time I wear it, and I don't want to have to wash it all the time. I've actually only washed the color when it's happened, so I don't like have to do the whole thing. But still, it sucks. And I saw Knitting for Olive put up a picture, and I actually decided to do it before I saw that, but it just confirmed to me that this would be a good choice. I saw somebody, they reposted somebody who has knitted in the exact same color as mine, where she's done a fold down color. She's done a 1 by 1 rib instead. But what I think I might do actually is basically just, like undoing it up here. I can't remember if this, I think unfortunately this was an Italian bind off. I might just insert my needle all the way around, simply cut the top edge off, and then do, well, I don't even need to do any knitting. I think I basically just need to like bind off really loosely, and then or do the method where you sew it down at the same time as you fold it over, sort of. I saw that on Instagram. I thought that looked like a really neat and good way to do it, so it's straight and there's nothing funny going on. So I think I'll actually do that. I like the look of the tall neck better, but again, I'm not going to use it so much because every time I think about using it, I'm like, oh God, I'm going to look like a mess during the day. I don't want to. I don't want that. So that's definitely going to be my plan for that. I actually forgot to mention finished object, of course, is my Eva cardigan. I think it was a work in progress last time I showed it. It's one of my favorite pieces already. I use it as is with nothing under it, which works fine for me. The fabric is definitely a little rustic. It's lamb's wool from Wadils, and you can definitely feel it, but nothing that bothers me. And I just love I love everything about it. What I did was actually when I did it, the sleeves were to here, and it's just a recurring subject in my world that I end up, maybe I'm too impatient. I end up doing the sleeves too short. I follow the pattern, and the sleeves end up being way too short. I did better on the Seaview sweater and on the Nature Lace sweater. I definitely measured and did them way longer, which is perfect. So what I did just a couple of days ago is I inserted my needle all the way around, in which was a pain in this dark fabric. It was really hard to like do it straight. I found out, but anyways, I tried the best I could, and then I actually cut off the outer edge of the bind off just because it was difficult to get open, and then I frogged it back to that point, added an inch, I believe it would be almost 3 centimeters, and then did the ribbing again and closed off. I could have done it even longer, actually. I don't know what it is, but this is actually a good length. It's practical. It's just all around pleasant. I really like it. So that's the Eva cardigan, and I'm really happy with that one. So the next item is a work in progress, which is this one, which is the Wednesday sweater by Petite Knit. It's a little bit damp because I'm blocking it because I want to try it on my daughter. I was showing, I think in my first podcast episode, or maybe the second one, that I wanted to do a sweater that mimics a sweater by the Danish fashion brand Saxpots. And I had picked out a pattern from Petite Knit with a more elaborate shoulder, and I was going on and on about how great I thought that would look. And my daughter was like, "No way! I want it very simple and boxy, and not any like funny, fancy details with the sleeve." I almost followed what she said because a Wednesday sweater does have the shoulder line back here because it gives it a better fit. And I don't think I'm gonna get busted for that. I don't think she'll notice because it's almost invisible. This is done in drops Nepal. I've read someplace that it pills like crazy, so I'm not too happy about that. But aside from that, it's very pleasant to work with. It's so soft, and I think it's going to be lovely for her. So I blocked it. I did the collar in 2x2 ribbing instead of the 1x1 that she suggests because that's what my daughter wanted. And then I'll try it on my daughter to make sure. To me, it looks too small in the sleeve as it is now. You're supposed to, at this point, gather it underneath here and then go in the round. And I just want to be sure, but then again, also, I don't, even though it needs to be oversized, you can easily like drown if your sleeve is too down here. And she's definitely a slender, slim little girl, so we'll see. I'll try it on her. I just want to be absolutely sure that everything fits as it's supposed to, but it's going to have this lovely huge collar, and it's drapey and soft and whatnot. So I feel like I'm on the right track with this one. As soon as I go in the round, this will be a really quick knit. It's done on 5mm needles or 6. So it's definitely fast. Kind of fun to work on, and I hope she'll use it a lot and be happy with it. So that's work in progress item number 1. And then number 2 was this beautiful baby alpaca yarn that I have that I was originally going to use for the Kumulus blouse. I decided that if I was to use it for the Kumulus blouse, I would have to hold it together with some kind of other like mohair or something. And first of all, it'll make it more expensive, but also I kind of wanted to let this breathe by itself. I don't know how well the color translates here, but it's a raspberry red is what the color is called, and it's beautiful. It's got a little bit of variation in the color. It's not like it is a little bit, there's a little bit going on. You can see maybe better here on the bigger piece of fabric that it's definitely it's just beautiful. And I think it's warm enough of a color to suit me really well. I feel like this is going to be beautiful. So what I did was I chose a t-shirt pattern from Ozetta that has this beautiful eyelet detail on the shoulder seam on the back. It's difficult to show because it's all crumbled up. And I'm right now working on the left side front of it, almost at the end of that, and then I'm working the right side, putting it together, going back and forth, and then doing in the round. And it has some detail with some short rows in the bottom for the hem to make it a little curvy, which is a little bit of pain in the butt to do, to be honest, because that's when you're going in the round and you're all happy. But then again, the sleeves are short and pretty easy to do, so I might actually just put in the extra effort because I think it looks kind of cool to have a little bit of detail there. It's a beautiful pattern. I put up the details next to you so you can see what it's called. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. A little bit confused about my gauge, I don't know if I went too loose in the width is, I was on point. I rarely ever measure the height of my gauge swatches because I'm not a big fan of gauge swatching. I am doing it now more, but then again, I always figure I can maneuver myself out of it. But to get the desired length, I did almost 10 rows less than the pattern says. And that confuses me a lot because when I'm at this point and I did the different measures, it seems to be on point. And I don't understand that. I really, really don't understand that. But I went with the measures and then I'm going to try it on. When I'm done with the front part, I'm going to try it on and just be sure, because this does look, I know it's going to be here. It does look a little short here, so I might extend this and just trust my own instinct, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is going to be too short, but we'll see. We'll see, because then it's a t-shirt, so it's not meant to be completely oversized, but I don't want it to bunch up under the arms. If there's something I really, really hate is when t-shirts are too tight in here, so that you can't, like, you feel like you can't move. I don't like that feeling. Also, there needs to be room around here. So I'm definitely going to try it on. But this is a soft little beautiful piece, and I'm doing the t-shirt now because I feel like this is a perfect layering piece. I really, really like the style with light woolly type t-shirts that you can wear by themselves when it's not too cold, and you can use them with a blazer on top or a cardigan or something like that. I really feel like that's going to be perfect. So this is definitely a fun project that I'm working on. So maybe this is a good time to insert the footage, because I did go on a little yarn adventure, you could say, just before New Year's. There was an open house arrangement at Wadils where I bought a lot of the yarn that I use. And I felt like it was a good idea to go because, first of all, I needed another skein of the cream color for the Kumulus blouse. And I was so lucky when I got to the store that this wonderful lady in there, I have an inkling that she might be, Wadils is a family company. It's run by two siblings, and they took over from their mother a couple of years ago. And I have an inkling that it was the mother I talked to. But she was so sweet because she asked me if I needed help. And I was looking at some mohair, this type here, it's called Fleur de Lis. And I was thinking that, and looking for the cream color. And she was like, oh, no, you're looking in the wrong place. You got to go over here to the good stuff. And she took me over to the silk mohair, and it was out of stock. But then she went, wait a minute, I can help you. You just got to ask. And she went out to the back room, came back with a bag where she had used some skeins, and gave me 4 of those. She was knitting a sweater in the back, and she had this left over. And that was so sweet, because otherwise it's probably going to come back in stock, but who knows how long that could take. And I just, I knit this in a week or so. So I just wanted to get it done. So that was beautiful and wonderful. But I went into the store. It was really crowded, so the footage is a little bit chaotic. I hope that it'll give you an impression of the place. So what you need to know is this is not a store. It's you can't buy Wadils in stores. You can only buy it online. And then when they do these open house arrangements, they basically open up where they have all the stuff stocked, and let people in to roam around. They probably have more stuff in the back, I presume. But so this is like, you can't even call it a showroom, because it's definitely really just a garage type thing where all the yarn is in. And it was so crowded. There were so many people, and it was a little bit chaotic, but I tried to film a little bit so you can get an impression of the different stuff. And you see me going over colors to match up these guys. That's what you see in the clip. And yeah, I just tried to give you a general impression of the place. Also, in the end, notice I came across some very, very soft alpaca they have, a thicker type version that I'm definitely considering investing in at some point to do the Busan sweater from Agio Knits. That would just be lovely. But then again, that's for a later time. I have other projects. But let's just see the footage and you can get an impression of what was happening there. So my stash, and it's been reduced already because it consists of 5 skeins of the brown version and 5 skeins of this apple green version of the Fleur de Lis. It's definitely not as soft as the kid mohair, but of course it's also cheaper. So there's a little bit of trade-off there. It's definitely a little bit on the coarser side. It's not that it's not soft, but not as soft as the other ones. And the reason I went to get this was, first of all, for the Kumulus blouse, but then also, I showed you last time, I bought, and this was by mistake, I bought this, it is lamb's wool as well, it's the same type as this, but it's the fingering weight, I think it's called. Again, I'm a little bit confused about the weight of stuff, but it's definitely thinner. I'm not crazy about this. If I had known or just been more aware when I bought it, I probably wouldn't have bought this. I would have preferred the thicker version like this one. They have an even thicker one that's also really neat, but I would have wanted this quality held with one strand of mohair. But when I put this together and then I ordered mohair again online, that's sometimes a mistake. You know how it's difficult it is. So I got these two, and I feel like these two together almost turns it into this. I mean, I feel like I look like somebody who's going hunting or something when I put these two together. It's a little dull. So I definitely wasn't too happy, and I couldn't meet gauge for the different projects I wanted to do. Because what I wanted to use this for was the Coffee Run sweater by Kuta. I can never remember it. Kutovakika. I need to learn it. Veronica Lindbergh's new book, and it's this really pretty, simple. Oh, that was the wrong way. It's difficult to do things on the opposite, but you can see a pretty beautiful, simple construction of a sweater. It's got a little bit of detail on the raglan, and I felt like this could be a great staple piece. And I didn't want to spend a bazillion kroners getting more yarn for it, and I was going back and forth, but then I decided on matching it with this apple green. And you saw in the clip that I was going between two green colors, but when I mix those, and look at me, I've done a swatch, I get this color, which is much more in line with what I wanted to get. And it's definitely softer, because I feel like this isn't very soft. But together, these three actually turn into something that I think I'm gonna get some use out of. So that's the plan to put on my needles next. So, and the reason I got this yarn was I have so much left over of the brown. I actually I think I used 300 grams for this sweater. It's because the lamb's wool from Wadils really goes a long way. You don't use a lot to create something out of it. And I was like, well, what do I do with it? And then I figured, what if I hold the brown together with a lighter brown, and then what I want to do, because I know it's a different fabric I think she is intending to get here, but the sweater that's called Take Me Out, I'll just turn the page so you can see a better picture of it. It's a sweater. Is it raglan? Or no, it's a drop shoulder, I think. Yeah. And then it's got cabling at the hem and at the sleeves, and then a fold over ribbed collar. I'm thinking it could be kind of cool to do a little bit of cabling also here, but we'll see if I do that change. And then it's got this subtle pattern with the little holes in it. Pretty simple, but really cute actually. And I was like, I think I could get it out of this. So I did, again, a little swatch. Look at me. And I did I don't know if you can see it because it's so dark. Let me see. Well, it's difficult to see. I'll hold it out a little bit so maybe you can see it better. So I did a little swatch, and I meet perfect gauge, at least like with the stitch count. And I like it because it turns into a fabric that's definitely more, varied in, what do you call it? Variegated, is that what it's called in English? It's definitely not a dark brown anymore, but it's got more variation in it, which I feel like will not turn it into just yet another dark brown piece. And it softens it up a little bit, also to create this sweater. So I think that's going to be a pretty neat piece actually. So that's the plan. And then the last thought that I had, well, first I actually tried to do a swatch with this yarn. It's the same as this dark brown, but just in a different color. I have 3 skeins of this, and one skein is 100 grams, so I actually have enough for a cardigan in this. And I was first actually doing the cabling part, thinking that it might be, I would combine it with these two, because I did the swatch with the yarn plus the brown mohair. And of course they would go together. So you would do the cable ribbing in this light brown, and then the rest of the sweater in the other. But the thing is, I don't like that so much. I think it works together, but it's not the style that I'm going for. So I won't do that. But it got me thinking that just holding this by itself, what I would love, and actually if you have good suggestions for a pattern, I would love to hear it, because I love this cardigan, so I could just do one more. What I want to do is either do another one of these, and then instead of doing the double ribbing all the way down here, I would do double knitting, because I want to do a cardigan with a double knitted band. I do understand that it takes forever to do it and so forth, but I think it looks so neat and so polished, but I think it would look really, really cool in this light color. And but I would actually prefer one with a round neck. And for some reason, I feel like I've seen that. So it would have ribbing up here and then just a double knitted button band and just regular sleeves and ribbing. And for some reason, I can't seem to find that in, and it would need to be something that requires like 4mm needles or something like that in order to fit with the yarn. And because I've found some really chunky ones that fulfill that criteria, and I've tried Ravelry. Maybe I'm not good enough at searching there. I don't think I've found the perfect pattern. If I can't find it, I guess it would be possible to try to modify this. I'm not too crazy about investigating that myself quite yet, but then I might actually just do this pattern. I would try, I think, sticking it. I want to try that, and I think it would be so great to be able to do cardigans where you can knit in the round for the most part of it, because that's what's killing you. I feel like when you get down to here, it's like a lot of purling. And if you could go in the round, that would just be awesome. So I would definitely go flat to down here, do the stitches in between, and then stick it, and maybe put I don't know, some kind of finishing thing inside or whatever, how I want to do it. I'll figure that out. But that's definitely a project that might actually go in line before this sweater, because I think I'll get a lot of use out of it. When I see how much I want to put this on, I basically want to wear it every day. I think I'll use it a lot if I get it done. So we'll see. We're at the end of the video, and first now I need to apologize a little bit for my voice. I've had some cold during the New Year's. It's pretty obvious, and I can definitely hear my voice being strained now. So probably a good place to end this video. Thank you so much for hanging on. If you're still here, thank you so much. I really, really hope that you got inspired. Tell me in the comments below what you're working on, and if you got a good start on the New Year's. And also let me know if you want to have me visit more yarn stores like this. I have the chance in a couple of weeks time, 2 weeks, week and a half, to actually visit the home of Isea yarn, because it's northern Jutland, and I'm going on a little trip, and I'll definitely try to go there and see if I can film a little bit from it. If you're interested in seeing that, subscribe please, because then you'll be notified when I put that video up. But I'll definitely try to include that in my next blog. So yeah, that's definitely, I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you will have a great time, and I hope to see you again next time.